think we've got this worked out. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. It was I had some settings wrong, so I don't know if anybody. I don't think anybody joined in the first couple of minutes when I first got the stream kicked off, but we've got that working at this point. Looks like we're doing okay. I don't normally stream from this side, so I'm on different hardware. I don't have the wireless mic or things like that, so it won't be quite as good of a stream, but hopefully it'll be okay. Definitely still getting some coffee in. Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks since I put out a video, but I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's going on, what's been in the works here, and again, this is the barn side. And so I've had the kids out here with me all morning. They just went inside. I think they're going to grab some lunch. I'm going to join them in a few minutes, but I wanted to knock this out. But yeah, so we're on the barn side of things. So I don't know if you guys realize it. I've done some videos a couple of years ago when we first moved here. But the building that my shop is in is technically it's in two sections. So this is the original building, and then where I normally am working is the the shop space. So all in all, it's about 1,500 square feet. It's split up roughly equal, or sorry, about 1,600 square feet. But it's roughly equal. I think it's 900 and 700. So I think this side is actually 700 square feet. This is an old tobacco barn. It's been updated a little bit on the inside, but at the floor, this is all tongue and groove wood flooring in here. I've had to do some patches and some repairs and stuff because of termite damage and things like that. But this barn is 100 years old roughly. So kind of neat. Hey Steven, good to see you. So right now, this has been kind of the wood shop area in general. Also kind of craft work and things like that. I'll pick the camera up and walk around in a minute, but I'll show you a little bit more as we move forward. It will be a little bit of shaky cam setup. Sorry about that, but we'll do what we can. Hey Pat, thank you. It's right on the cusp here. So I've got the time that I'm looking at is 11:57 a.m. I don't know what kind of delay we'll have there. Northwest Machining. Now that's a name I haven't seen in a while. Hope you are doing well, sir. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's see. What's the plans? Well, let's show you where we're at today. We've already got some of it done, and you can see there's trash bags sitting there and stuff like that. But yeah, so give you a little bit of the tour. Sorry for like I said, this is not my usual setup. This is a different computer, different camera, different audio. So what you're looking at over here, you can kind of see, right? So we've got a few stairs. So I've got the concrete pour down there. This is the original barn. I don't know if at some point we'll just rip all this flooring out and do a concrete pour and just make this pass through. But for now, this has worked out. The original plan was to make a clean side and a dirty side, and that didn't happen. So we've got the air compressor lives over here. We've got a little sandblaster set up. We're getting that back up and running. The X-Carve's over here right now, or for now at least. There's actually kind of hidden away, so we've got our workout stuff. There's a table saw that needs to be put together back there. A little bit more woodworking stuff. We've got the laser cutter, which is currently not working. I believe I may have to have the motherboard sent in and reflashed. I don't know what we're going to do about this one yet. Got the 3D printer going. So basically, I'm just making a big circle, right? We've got our little TV and set up. So sometimes we'll, when the kids are out here, they'll watch TV and stuff. And then this is where I was just sitting. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back. I apologize for the shaky cam, but I'll put the camera back. We'll sit down and get back to normal. Oh. Okay, so, all right, who else has joined since then? We got Duncan, Metalworks Machine Shop. Hey, Guy, hey, good to see you. How's your build coming along? Would love to see some feedback on your shop build. All right, so where are we right now? So the plan is to do a couple of things in here. I used to, and I still officially do, host one of the Titans of CNC small group, the Academy small groups. We would meet in here. I had a big table set up. Okay. I'm not sure what just happened, but I think it's back. Let's see. I lost everything for a second. Let's see how things are going. Looks like everything is okay. I don't know what happened. That was really weird. I think, especially with the way that things are going, with everybody being stay-at-home stuff. When you're on cable internet, you're sharing your streams, or you're sharing that bandwidth, and I've definitely noticed a difference with everybody home and everybody around. I've noticed a real difference. So yeah, that's been interesting. All right, let's see. Not sure what's going on, if I'm even connected to the chat window or not. I'm not seeing chat coming in right now, so if it is working, I'm not seeing it, guys. It says it's unable to connect. I'm a little concerned about refreshing the YouTube page, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. So if we get locked out, we'll find out. Neat. I am definitely having some issues. You guys there? Hey, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not been. Yeah, the refresh broken. Okay. Well, I think we're back. We'll see. Sorry about that. This is, like I said, not my usual setup in here. Yeah, so what's been going on? Overall, I have continued to do both jobs. So the day job is considered an essential job. I don't know, not everybody knows this, but I work for a big electronics company, and we provide the equipment that that a lot of these operations centers use, hospitals and things like that. They use our equipment. I'm so I'm a product manager for them. So I dream up these products and bring them to market. So right now, obviously, we've been really busy responding to requests for new equipment and design work and things like that. On top of that, the shop has continued to operate. So I am working from home. So thankfully, I'm able to do things like that. And then in the evenings and weekends, I've been operating the shop. So works a little bit slower in the shop right now, but I've been getting calls from folks who want us to do work because other shops are closed. So it's working out pretty well. I finally got the laser over here, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen this, but basically, the laser, it was up, and many thanks to Dustin over at Raven Rock Machine, who helped me get this heavy-ass thing moved. It's an old Epilogue, and it's a 35-watt Epilogue Legend. Really nice laser, but it's like 20 years old. I had to resurrect an old computer just to be able to connect to it because I needed to use a 32-bit operating system. I got it up and running, updated the firmware on it to the latest version. It seemed like everything was fine, and the first time I tried to send a job to it, the laser got into a bad state. We had power issues here at the time. It was really stormy, and I don't know what happened, but it seems like the firmware has been corrupted somehow, and it's not booting up to a point that I can reapply the firmware and fix it. Part of me wants to take this motherboard into the office with my hardware guys and say, hey, can we reflash this? Because Epilog is, so they're in Golden, Colorado. Amazing folks out there. I've already talked to their tech support. They're in a shelter-at-home position as well, and they are closed. They're not going to be reopened until the end of the month. So my plan was to fire this thing up and start making face shields and things like that. Yeah, not happening. I did get in touch with somebody. The responses I got, and everybody was really helpful. I've had people all over the place helping out on this. But effectively, what it boils down to is it's a 20-year-old machine, and even though it's rock solid, parts are scarce. People who can work on it aren't. It's not like a 20-year-old. Well, my brother, for instance, my milling machine is almost as old as this, and I can still get parts for it. I can do all kinds of things because it was a broadly used, machine from a very large company. Epilog is definitely professional grade equipment, but not as broadly used. Right, so we're just kind of stuck right now. I've given some consideration to yanking the controller out of this thing and retrofitting it with something more modern. Doing my research indicates that would be a lot of work. In fact, as I was doing this research, I came across a guy who did do a retrofit, and basically what he said was, for the amount of time and money you're going to put into it, you could buy a newer laser or build yourself a new laser that's got 3 times the power, faster, with a modern control, and it's just not worth doing. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've got some equipment here. I realized, so as I was doing my research and looking at these different things, the lasers, the way lasers work, you don't have a lot of heavy parts that move, because it's all mirrors basically, right? Mirrors and a lens. So I've got almost enough stuff here to build myself a new laser, and so I may actually do that. I might build a new laser, a 90 or 100 watt laser. Just build one myself. So, yeah, I don't know yet. It's just a matter of figuring out, plans for the future on this one. I am going to be doing a new video. I'm going to make another part of a part that it's already out the door. So again, if you watched on Instagram, you saw that I recently did a little drive shaft for an RC, so radio controlled rock crawler, and it's actually a really neat part. It's 304 stainless. I did it in the Tormach in the lathe, and then just take it over to the manual mill to do the drilling, the cross drilling. But I will be doing a video on how I did the drawing, the adjustments I made to it. Programming is a single operation. I think it must be the laser. All right, Zach. Yeah, so the programming, it's a single operation on the programming, and then you flip it around to do the other end. So there's not a whole lot. It's not complicated. It's just one of these parts where you look at it and you go, huh, all right, I wonder how they made that. And I sat down and did it. So I will, I'll do a video on that. So I'll probably shoot it this weekend because I've got some time. And then hoping to do some video with family for Easter. So my sister and her family are overseas, and then my folks are actually really close. They're only about 5 miles away, but we are all practicing social distancing right now. We do see each other. We've helped each other out with like grocery shopping and stuff like that, but we're limiting exposure. So might just set up the webcam and go from there. The other cool thing about this space here is, so my whole family does Taekwondo. And unfortunately, we have 4 of us at 4 different levels of Taekwondo. And our school has done a great job of dealing with all of this and doing so much of it with video. So we meet in a private Zoom room a few times a week. So the different groups are meeting. So basically every day or so, one of us or a couple of us are on doing these sessions. We've been doing it in our living room, but that's actually kind of cramped. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, wait a minute, we've got all this space here. Let's just clean this up a little bit, and we can use it. So you saw we've got the workout equipment and stuff like that. So I think what we're going to end up doing is clearing out a lot of the junk from this room. And a lot of the stuff that's in here was stuff that was here when I bought the place. We've cleaned most of it out, but not everything. And I was like, you know what, if we actually cleaned this up, there would be enough space in here for us to do our lessons from in here. And so I think that's the plan, and that's what we've been working on after our lesson this morning. And all of us cramped into the living room trying to do it. I think we're going to do it here, so it'll be kind of neat. So that's what's been going on. It's been interesting. On the shop side, we're still getting things organized and cleaned up. We're using the slower time, especially since I'm home. We're using the slower time to clean and organize, getting air lines run, cleaning up the last of the electrical stuff we wanted to do, and looking for some future, or looking towards the future. One of the things that is, it was in the works before all this stuff happened, and we're still kind of waiting to see how things shake out. But I'm likely going to be getting a new lathe. I've been looking at well, I'll just go ahead and tell everybody. I've been looking at a Huaqian Cutex 180. It's built in South Korea, but a really solid machine. It has a sub spindle and live tooling. So essentially what I'm trying to do is set up more automation so that I can load bars in, press a button, and get finished parts out. So like for instance, the magnets that I make, I haven't made a batch in quite a while. But I could load up right now I have to do part of it in the mill, part of it in the lathe, and then I take it over to the mill to do the finish. This thing I could just load a bar up and get finished parts out, and then I just press the magnets in and I'm done. Right? It's a great example. There's some other things that I do that would also benefit from it. I've been working on prototypes for a guy who's at the patent stage, and he also wants me to do the production work on it. And so having a new lathe would make a huge difference on what we could do as a shop. So it means I got to get that space over there cleaned up. I got to get organized a little better, get things going. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hey Emma, good to see you. Yeah, so it looks like we've got a few more people. Oh, Craig's on. Cool. I don't know who else is still on, but yeah, I see had quite a few folks join over time. Yeah, so apologies for the up and down connectivity there. I don't know what happened, but we had a little blip, and seems like it's working okay. It's been pretty stable for the last 10 or 15 minutes, so that's good. But I think at this point it's time to wrap up for this session. Like I said, I've got some new work that I'll post, a new video that I'll post, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys again for watching and subscribing and always being so supportive. You know, it means the world to me. So thanks again, and I'll see you again soon.